I have your list of questions right here that I typed up so I can interview myself and have these go to you. Now what you can do with them is anything you want. Type them up in English, type them in Spanish. Let me know how they go, if you need me to repeat anything or you need me to type anything up for you. But the first question you asked me was, how long have I been playing a Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones first came out as a card game. It debuted in 2002 at Gen Con. I never played Gen Con back in 2002. The first Gen Con I went to was in 2003. I started playing the game in February of 2003, and I went to Gen Con and participated in the first Game of Thrones World Championship. We had almost 100 players that time. I finished in the top 8. I lost to Casey Galvan, who won in 2003 as the first Game of Thrones World Champion. And I've played every year since, except 2.5 years I took off because I was sick and I didn't play in 2009 and 2010. So I was not involved in any of the World Championships that year, in 2009, 2010. Your second question was, and what is the balance that you make of all these years? So I think, because I'm not sure of the translation what you mean by this, I think you were asking me is, how do I balance this game with my own life, or how do I continue playing and stay in the game all this time? In my own personal life, this is my favorite thing to do. I enjoy getting out there and playing Game of Thrones with my friends. I love the competitive aspect of the game. It's based on a book series that I love, and I want to keep playing this game for as long as I can. Your third question was, what do you think has been the best and the worst time of the game, and why? The best time of the game was probably the last couple years, when HBO bought the rights to the game. The game took off. We got new people who played the game, new interest in the game. For a little while I wasn't sure how long the game was going to last, but it's been doing great. The last few years we've seen some great cards designed and great sets designed in the game. So I would say right now might be the best time in the game. The time that was the worst probably was Gen Con 2008, when FFG, and that was the last Gen Con I participated in, before I got sick and decided to not play for a while, when a lot of people, other people took a break from the game. Many people decided not to play because FFG decided to get rid of the old CCG format and go completely with LCG. And all of our old cards were no good anymore. And we had to start with the core set and the first set of chapter packs. So that was probably the worst time in the game. Although maybe for me, 2009, 2010 may have been the worst time because I just didn't play then. I didn't have any interest in playing. I wasn't feeling so great and decided not to play. Anyway. Next you asked, what is the thing I like most about the Game of Thrones LCG? The thing I like most is, again, the great community of friends I play with. I have an amazing group of friends that I play with here in Southern California. They're a lot of fun to play with, they're great people, and they're very competitive players, and they challenge me a lot. Also, the great number of people that I have made friends with across the United States and even across the Atlantic Ocean. Like you guys, you and Rabs, you and Raul. So good guys out there, a lot of great people, and I'm so glad to have made this game a part of my life because these people are some of my best friends in the world. You asked, many years ago I won the Game of Thrones World Championship in 2005 and I designed the first No Winter. How was that experience of designing the card? It was amazing. I had a great experience designing that card. Eric Lang was still the original designer and still designing cards at that time, so I worked with him on my card. He let me pretty much design everything I wanted about the original card, even coming up with a name, and even suggesting the artwork too, and choosing the artist. So I got everything I wanted on that card. So it was a really great, amazing experience for me. Fortunately and unfortunately, the good thing was I got to be the first person to have their image put on the card. Unfortunately, it didn't quite look exactly like me, although it does a little bit. but it is fun to be the only person in the game being ass raped by whites. So I like that part. I like being raped by whites. It's a good time, but it's a little cold in the ass. How did I feel about winning Worlds a second time? That was probably the most amazing experience for me ever. Having been gone from the game for 2.5, almost 3 years, and coming back in 2011, not knowing if I was going to be any good at this game or not, living up to a previous reputation I had,